Hey there, welcome back. Today, I would like to share with you some of my winter favorites. I did a video like this in the fall with some of my favorite things from that season, what I had been enjoying and listening to, and just fun things I wanted to share with you. And so I wanted to do that again for the winter season. So I have, as usual with my show and tells, quite an interesting and unique variety of goodies to share with you. And so I hope you enjoy it. I hope you will get nice and cozy and relax and just let this rambly, cozy little show and tell wind down your mind and help you relax. I don't always do a lot of finger fluttering, but that felt right and seems nice today, so I hope you like it. Okay, so the first thing I should highlight in my winter favorites is this amazing hoodie that I am wearing. So this is a pretty giganormous hoodie. See if I can get some nice fabric sounds for you. And this hoodie is basically like a hoodie tunic or a hoodie dress. It goes down all the way past my knees, actually. And you can see the sleeves are nice and surprisingly nice sound. The sleeves are nice and long and oversized, and it has pine trees all over it. These cute little sort of painted looking pine trees, and these black cuffs. Oh, and I do have the little, I forgot. I have the little thummy holes, which I do like. I do like that because then, keeps your wrist nice and cozy. Your wrists nice and cozy. And of course it also is a hoodie, so it has this lovely hood. Put that up over my little fluffy hair buns that I did this morning. And you can see the inside is red plaid, which is a very pretty and festive contrast. And I just love this hoodie. It has a giant pocket on the front, which I don't think you'll be able to see, but I can rustle a little bit. And the inside is very, very soft and cozy and fleecy. And I have basically been wearing this thing all winter because it's just so cozy. And I want to give a little shout out to the ASMR Samurai because he recorded a video a while back where he was wearing a giant hoodie. And it was, cozy and fun. And I thought, why have I not worn my giant hoodie in a video yet? So I thought for wintry favorites, it would be appropriate to share. I actually bought this summer at the gift shop at a beautiful state park that my husband and I visited. And so I bought this on a day when it was really, really hot. And so it was funny. I had the foresight to know that I would need something very cozy. So that is my first winter favorite, is this hoodie, and it's made by, the brand is called Lazy One, and I've seen other pajamas by them, and I would highly recommend getting yourself a giganormous hoodie if you happen to find one. I think there's like a particular brand of them or something that's popular. This is just the one that I happened to find, but whoever decided to bring knee-length hoodies into the mainstream fashion scene, I appreciate you. Okay, let me see. Is there anything else? Oh, I also, things that I'm wearing, why not? Going to pull out, this is a little surprise. I'm going to pull out this rose quartz pendant and show it to you. And it is very pretty. It is a pink quartz stone. And this little setting that looks sort of tree and leaf-like. And let me see, can I take it off with my headphones without making a big ruckus? Okay, so I got it off there. So I just wanted to show you so you could see how pretty it is. And you can see this little sort of tree of life setting that the stone is in. And actually, now that I think about it, I bought this necklace at the same gift shop last summer where I bought this giganormous hoodie. And I didn't really wear this necklace that much at first in the summer because I don't know, it's big and it felt kind of heavy. And then I really was drawn to it this winter, and I've been wearing it pretty much all the time. And of course, rose quartz is a stone of the heart chakra and a stone of love. So it's a good thing to have around. And in some of my other videos, some of you really enjoyed it when I did sort of pendulum movements like this with a necklace or with a pendant of some kind, and so I thought you just might like to see this, and I've been wearing it in a good many of my videos, so I thought you might like it. And I do use this for pendulum work for myself. If you've ever worked with a pendulum with your intuition to ask it questions, it can be a very interesting thing to do. Somebody taught me how to do that randomly several years ago, and it's something that I've been working with ever since to hone my intuition. And you can, look up more about how to do that, but basically you can, take any pendulum-like object like this, something on a chain or on a rope, and hold it above your hand, and you can ask it questions. And you can ask it to show you what a yes answer looks like and what a no answer looks like. Sometimes a circle in one direction might be a yes. A circle in another direction might be a no. You can see my pendulum is showing us right now that this is my yes. And this is my no when I ask it questions. And, I really believe that there's a lot of science behind how this sort of thing works. That it taps into your nervous system and to your intuition on a really deep level. And it's been a really cool practice for me to help me trust my own decisions more and, kind of tap into my own intuition and my own sense of trust about things. So, this is my little rose quartz. And already I've gone off on a tangent and talk to you about pendulum work, which I hadn't intended to do, but I can't help it. That's what my videos are all about. So I hope that you like my rose quartz necklace. It matches my fuzzy pink mic cover, which is, of course, another one of my winter favorites. This mic cover is my favorite in any season, and I always try to put the maker of my mic cover into my descriptions, the Etsy maker who knit this mic cover, because boy, it brings me a lot of joy to use it, and it is extra cozy in the winter. Okay, so I'm going to put my necklace back on, if I can, with my headphones here, and I will leave it outside my hoodie this time so that you can see it. Okay, so I do like fabric sounds. I don't do a lot of them, and I'm also just realizing that it's amazing that I have kept this light colored hoodie as clean as I have. It's a good thing that the cuffs are black. That hides a multitude of stains, I'm sure. So, okay, those are the things on my person. And then I'm just going to dive into this funny pile of things that I have. The first thing that I have, I'm in this mode of wanting you to guess by the sound. This is a really funny sound. The first thing I have is a loaf of bread. A loaf of bread in a plastic bag. So I'll give you a little crinkling action here for those who are into that. And this is a cinnamon raisin bread that I have been eating this winter and really loving. And I do a lot of my own baking. I really love to do things in the kitchen. And I bake bread. I bake sourdough bread and other kinds of bread. So for me to find a store-bought bread that I really go gaga over is unusual. And I found this at our co-op. And it is from, this is so cute, it is from the Bread Shed. This is cinnamon raisin bread. It is vegan, dairy-free, and low sodium. And they have some fun little notes on the side here. It says, "Good bread takes time. Our long fermentation process brings out more flavor. Handcrafted bread is better. The care we take creates wonderful texture in the crumb." And I would agree with them. Always simple ingredients. Nothing you can't pronounce goes into our bread. No preservatives in our bread ever. Flip the loaf for bread care suggestions. And they just suggest, that you freeze it if you're not going to eat it right away, but I usually eat a loaf of this within a week or so, and so don't have to worry about that. And so I mostly wanted to know what this bag of bread would sound like on the microphone, and so that's why I brought it. And I don't talk a lot about this on my channel, but I do have some issues with my digestion, and things don't always agree with me, and I'm on quite a journey with that, with my gut health, as they say. And this bread has been really, I don't know, something that has agreed with me and that I've been enjoying in the morning as my breakfast, I think, because it is somewhat fermented and it has the raisins in it and the cinnamon, the warming spices. It's been a lovely breakfast treat and snack treat for me. And one of my dear friends made me some pecan butter recently, homemade pecan butter. Oh my goodness. And that spread on some of this bread. amazing. So maybe get yourself some kind of cinnamony spicy bread. Put some nut butter on it. And that's a good way to stay cozy. Am I a tease if I don't actually show you a piece of bread? I mean, I'm not going to eat a piece of bread right now because I really like this bread toasted, but okay, I'm going to take off my little thummy thingies. Get down in here with the bread. Okay, I won't manhandle it too much, but here's a piece of bread with some lovely raisins in it and the swirls of cinnamon. Okay, I know GB is famous for her toaster coaster, which looks like a piece of bread, but is anyone doing bread tapping? Is this a thing? Have we just invented it? Okay, my cinnamon raisin bread, which has been a wonderful treat this winter, and I hope that tapping on those raisins didn't make my fingers too sticky. I might have to take a pause here and make sure that I'm clean, because I'm going to be touching some vinyl and other things, and we don't want to have sticky fingers, do we? So, one moment. Okay, I am back and ready to commence a tapping with no raisin stickiness on my fingers. But that did remind me, I also brought another little winter favorite, which is my kitty cat mug, which I showed in a video, I think, which I bought for myself from Serve when I was Christmas shopping, and I love it, and I have been drinking my warm beverages out of it very religiously this winter season. This has been my favorite mug for sure, since I put all of the Christmas and holiday mugs away. So, have a little sip there, and then move on to some other things. So since I just showed you my mug and my bread, perhaps I should continue on this culinary theme, and I will show you that I brought along an empty tin. Isn't that a good sound? Of my favorite hot chocolate. Now let me tell you, I am very into hot chocolate and hot cocoa. And I guess I should say this is hot cocoa because I guess you do differentiate that hot chocolate is made with melted chocolate and hot cocoa is made with cocoa. So there you go. I really love hot chocolate, especially because I have to be very careful with coffee. I don't drink coffee very often, because the caffeine really does mess with me, but fortunately, the caffeine in chocolate and hot cocoa, so far I seem to be able to still handle. See how this sounds on the metal side. But this is hot cocoa from Equal Exchange. It is a fair trade, organic hot cocoa, and it is worth it to, get the good stuff, I think, when it comes to hot cocoa. And I make my own hot cocoa mix a lot. And I think that's a good way to do it because then you know just what is going into it. But this is one that I found that the ingredients are beautiful and very clean. And it is one that does have milk powder in it. So you can make it with just water, which I usually make this with milk anyway. I usually make it with oat milk. But it is nice to have one that you can make with just water, and it's still pretty good. That was nice to have at the holidays when we had guests over and such, so they could just, easily make their own. But I have tried a lot of, jarred, canistered hot cocoa mixes, and this is my favorite. So I just wanted to share it with you, and like I said, this is an empty container of it. Still a little bit of, oh, that's nice. Maybe a little bit of cocoa residue in there. I have another active one of these downstairs that I am using, but I had kept this one specifically to make a video with, so that's a nice sound. Maybe I should clean this out completely so I could, kind of put it up above and all around the mic and not worry about getting cocoa on my microphone. Okay, cool. Well, it's a good sound. This empty hot cocoa tin might go into my trigger box, I think. Ooh, okay, so my favorite wintry hot cocoa, the organic hot cocoa made with non-fat milk from Equal Exchange. Okay, let me see. I should put my bread over to the side here of things that I've already done so I won't get confused. I don't want to, show you the bread like 4 times, unless you want a whole bread video. Let me know. I could always do that. Okay, next up, I think I will go to some music. So I did bring along a vinyl record album. I still haven't gotten around to doing a video that is solely devoted to vinyl. That is on my list, but I've been trying to work records in when I'm doing videos that are sort of assortments of triggers. And so today I brought this album, which has a beautiful cover. And that's the main reason that I brought it today. I wanted to show you something with a nice cover. And I love this band. This is an album from Moonchild. And the name of this album is Little Ghosts. And you can see this album cover has some lovely mountains on it, and the sun, and then these rainbow rays coming up out of the sides and the top of the mountain. And this is another band that I love because they are just so chill and laid back and have such a good groove. The lead singer's voice is just like honey. I mean, just amazing, and very talented musicians. I love the Tiny Desk concert, the NPR Tiny Desk concert, which you can find on YouTube from this band. I mean, they're just amazing live, and I really enjoy them. And this is a hefty album here. It's a double album and nice, wide cut. So you've got lots of nice high fidelity. So we have 4 sides here. Side A Wise Women, Too Much to Ask, The Other Side, Side B, Sweet Love, Strength, Everything I Need, and Money. Side C, Nova, Get to Know It, What You're Doing, and Come Over. What You're Doing is one of my favorites. What you're doing to me, what you're doing to me. Ooh, it's a nice little riff. Side D, On to Me, Whistling, and Still Wonder. So they have quite a few albums that I really enjoy, and they are very warm and bright and cozy and sassy in their songs. And so if you're looking for something to warm you up a little bit musically, you might try out some Moonchild. So I wanted to bring this vinyl and share with you. And then I also decided to get old school and bring a couple of CDs to share with you. Now this one I have in a plastic sleeve because it is autographed by the artists, and I thought that this little sleeve, this is just a reusable sleeve from a different CD to protect it. I thought that this little sleeve might make some good noises, and I see that I am right. But I am going to be bold and take this out of the plastic to show you. This is a CD from a band called Lunasa. L-U-N. I guess I could go ahead and show you on the front of here. L-U-N-A-S-A. Okay, get this out of the plastic here. And they are a traditional Irish band. They play traditional Irish music that is rockin'. And I love them so very much. One of my favorite bands really of all time. I first saw them in Cork, Ireland in 1999, and I'm going to be really old school and give you some of my music cred right now, that I saw them at the Lobby Bar in Cork, which does not exist anymore. A very cool music venue of that time. And the members of Lunasa were quite young then, as I was. I was 20 at that time. And they were just, you know, kind of at the beginning of launching their career. And so it was really cool that I got to see them with a really dear friend who took me to see them. And it was just a really cool concert and one of the best, you know, nights of live music still that I've ever seen. And I've gotten to see them in concert quite a few times since then. And I actually saw them this winter, which is why I am including them in my winter favorites. It was the first live music I had gone to see in like 3 years, maybe even 4 years. So it was really exciting to get to see them play live. And so they play traditional Irish instruments. They play flutes, and there's a fiddle player and an upright bass player. Sometimes there's 2 fiddle players. And a guitar player, and then one of them plays the Irish pipes, which I believe, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, are Yulin pipes, and they're different than bagpipes, sort of like Scottish bagpipes, in that there is a chamber that you squeeze to make air come out of them, and that is how you make the music, but they're much smaller than Scottish bagpipes, and they're not quite as overwhelming. You know, with bagpipes, it's kind of like the bagpipe is it, and it can't really blend in with other instruments as well, except maybe in like a marching band context. But the Irish pipes are very beautiful and played very skillfully in this group, and you know, I could go on and on and on and on and on about them, so I'm going to rein myself in for the sake of this video. But I did want to open up the inside of this and just show you. There are some photo of them performing live, and a photo of them here performing. And the members of the band are Kevin Crawford on flute and whistles, Killian Valley, or Valele, I'm not sure how you say his name, Killian Valele, I think, on the Yulin pipes and the low whistle, Sean Smith on the fiddle, Colin Farrell on the fiddle and whistles, Trevor Hutchinson on the double bass and many other instruments, and Trevor Hutchinson is kind of the founder of the group, Ed Boyd on guitar, and Patrick Ducey on additional guitars. And they are all lovely, lovely fellows. They're the types that, you know, you can hang out after their shows and talk to them, and they're very friendly and cool. So I really appreciate, you know, when musicians take the time to do that, even after they've played a long show. And these guys are just full of that vivacious Irish energy that they can just play this incredibly, you know, long and involved set of music and still be energized at the end. And you can see on here that it says to Devan, and quite a few of them signed it. This was not at the most recent show I saw of theirs, but one a couple of years ago they signed this for me, and that's very special to have. So this is my Lunasa CD. And I've just been listening to them a lot this winter because, again, they're very warming, uplifting music. And I have several of their CDs. I brought this one too, which is one of them playing along with an orchestra, which is pretty amazing. So I will put a link to Moonchild and Lunasa in the description, so you can check out their music and enjoy it as well, if you would like. Okay, next up, I have some sort of self-care, nice, yummy, winter cozy things I've been enjoying. This one is a candle. This is also empty. This was a vanilla nutmeg cardamom candle that I really enjoyed. Boy, did it smell nice. And so I did the old trick, you know, of putting the spent candle in the freezer so then I could pop out the wax and then just have this little empty jar, empty tin, which I figured would make really excellent ASMR. Sky ASMR does a lot of tapping with little metal jars, and I love it. I think she's more coordinated than I am, but little jars and lids and things, and it still smells nice, like the candle in there. Yeah, it's really nice. So this is by Good Light, is the name of this candle, and I mainly wanted to try out this tin and transfer it to my trigger box so that it can get some more action in a future video. But I burn a lot of candles in the winter, so couldn't do a winter favorites. Without having a candle. Okay, and since I am in a category of little tins here, I have another little tin that still has something in it, so perhaps it will have a different kind of sound. This contains a body butter bar. Body butter bar, body butter bar, body butter bar. Which reminds me, I really want to do a tongue twister ASMR video, side note. And this is orange and frankincense scented body butter bar from Aaron's Essentials. Body butter bar, which is a local brand to me. And I don't know if I'll be able to get this lid off. It gives me trouble sometimes. Oh no, okay, it's coming along. And you can see, oh, give that a smell. Yeah, it's not nice. And so you can see the body butter in there. And originally it was imprinted in the cute little shape of a bee with like a little honeycomb around it. But since I've, used it up, I've, used up the part that was in that shape. But it's just really, really lovely. It's just a really lovely scent. And you can use it, on your body. You can use it on your face. Here, let me give you just a little bit if you want. Is that okay? I'll just put a little on your face. Yeah, I'll just put a little around your eyes on that side. And on that side. Yeah. And then, yeah, that's nice. And then here, if you want to take a little bit of it, yeah, just take a little bit on your fingers. Yeah, and then you can just rub it into your hands and do anything that you would like with it. But this contains beeswax, coconut oil, shea butter, sunflower oil, arrowroot powder, vitamin E oil, sweet orange essential oil, and frankincense essential oil. So it smells lovely, and my hands get very, very dry in the winter. And also, my dishwasher has been broken this winter. So I've been doing all my dishes by hand, and your hands get dry from doing that, and so this has really been a lifesaver. For my hands this winter, my Aaron's Essentials orange and frankincense body butter. Okay, we're moving along now. We're moving along, picking up my pace. Also on the theme of self-care, I have a million lip balms, so I could have picked any number of them. This one happened to present itself to me today. This is a classic one that I get often. It is in my regular rotation. This is the Badger Vanilla Bean Cocoa Butter Lip Balm, and it is delicious. It tastes like vanilla cupcakes or vanilla cake, birthday cake or something like that. And it has the cute little badger on it. So, and I like this one because it's a big fatty one, that you can really get a lot on, and it tastes really delicious. So just wanted to throw in a lip balm into the mix. Not that poppy. Okay, I only have two things left. I have two books that I'd like to show you. And the first book is the last book that I had been planning to include in my comfort books video, which I tried to make a while back and it kind of failed. And so I only got to share one book from that, Midnight Hour Encores, which I am glad I got to share with you. And then I have used the rest of those books since then in other videos. I used a couple of them in my 1K special trigger video because I wanted to do some book reviews. And so I brought kind of the last one that I hadn't used yet in a video to share with you here. And that is this old and worn copy of Watership Down by Richard Adams, which is a classic book about rabbits. And I have given that opening line to so many people, to friends, and they're like, what? It's a book about rabbits? And then I lend this book to them, and they love it, and they totally get it. So it is a book about rabbits. It is a book, it is written in such a way that the rabbits are very realistic. You know, they're not swashbuckling rabbits like in the Redwall series by Brian Jakes, which I also like. You know, they're not like wearing little outfits and fighting with swords like the animals of Redwall Abbey. These are actual rabbits living a rabbit's life out in the fields in England. But you get to know these rabbits as characters, and you get a glimpse into the society and the hierarchy and the rich culture of the rabbit lineage that he has created in this book. And it's basically the story of a small group of male rabbits who set out from their warren to create a new warren, and they do that under somewhat precarious circumstances, and but they are able to set out, and they encounter other warrens of rabbits, and they have to decide who they want to ally themselves with, and where they want to set up their new home. And so it's got this sort of like epic, like action adventure, kind of Lord of the Rings kind of feel to it, I think. But it's also very nature oriented, and he's very true to like the scientific nature of rabbits. And so you learn a lot about the rabbits, about rabbits and their behaviors, and yet the characters of the individual rabbits in the story are very engagingly human. And I suppose on the front here, this is supposed to be Hazel, who is the chief rabbit of this little band that sets out together, and he is an unlikely leader. He's not the strongest rabbit or the most powerful, but he sets himself apart as a leader. And our dog Hazel is partially named for Hazel from Watership Down. But like I said, there's a lot of adventure in it, and excitement, and a mystery of what's really going on in some of the situations they encounter, and they, have alliances with other animals, and, they have friends and enemies among other rabbits that they meet, and, it's just a really interesting story, I think. And then there's a whole lore, like I said, that he invented, which is very, fantasy-like, of the tales and the stories and the legends of the rabbits and their, their sort of gods and their mythology. And so they also tell tales and sing songs from the ancient mythology of the rabbits. And there's a wonderful character named Fiver, who is Hazel's little brother, and he is very sensitive and has a very strong intuition and senses things and has premonitions about things that are going to happen, and he's a wonderful character too. So this is another book that I could go on and on and on about. But if you're looking for something unusual and incredibly cozy and engaging to read this winter, I would recommend Watership Down. It was written in the 60s, I think. Was it written in the 60s? It's got many, many, many positive reviews here. It was written in 1972. Okay, so it's a good classic novel, and you can see this paperback of mine, which I actually think a friend originally passed on to me, and I have shared with many people. I've had many people borrow this book. Somehow I've always gotten it back. And it's a well-worn and loved paperback. And this is definitely a book that, like, if I'm sick and I don't feel good, this is the book that I will read. It's like the chicken soup of novels to me. Okay, so Watership Down, a little wintry fiction for you, but with a cool naturological spin to it. And then the last thing I brought is another book that I have been enjoying this winter, which is called The Yoga of Herbs by Dr. David Frawley and Dr. Vasant Vlad, who are preeminent scholars in Ayurveda and herbalism. And this is a classic reference book for yoga practitioners and for herbalists, because it basically goes through all sorts of herbs, common herbs, that are sort of weeds in many places, and more exotic herbs, and gives you their medicinal benefits and their energetics. And it's also just a wonderful reference book about herbs and plants in general. So there's lots of good information in here about the categories of medicinal herbs and how they're used and how that relates to Ayurvedic healing and theories of how the body works. And then there's this great section in the back where you can just pick any herb that you want to and learn about it. Like, for example, I just opened 2 cloves. Okay, cloves, that we think of using in our festive holiday baking probably, and I don't know, maybe sticking into a ham and not much beyond that. But cloves are Caryophyllus aromaticus. I love the Latin names of the herbs, and that's something I'm trying to learn and get better at pronouncing. And so for each herb here, it gives you all of these sort of qualities of it. For cloves, the part used is the dried flower buds. Energetics are pungent and heating. Tissues affected are plasma, muscle, marrow, and nerve. Actions of cloves are stimulant, expectorant, carminative, analgesic, and aphrodisiac. And it is indicated for colds, cough, asthma, indigestion, toothache, vomiting, hiccups, laryngitis, pharyngitis, and low blood pressure. It says to use with precaution if you have inflammatory conditions or hypertension, because cloves is quite heating, and it tells you how to infuse it into a decoction, which is basically a strong tea. And I do drink clove tea a lot in the winter, and it says cloves are an effective stimulant and aromatic for the lungs and stomach. They dispel chill, disinfect the lymphatics, and are effective in colds and coughs. The volatile oil is a powerful analgesic, and cloves are mildly aphrodisiac. I don't think I knew that, so an extra bonus to my love of cloves. But that is just one example. I mean, you can go through, and there's everything in here, you know, coriander, dandelion, echinacea, fennel, hibiscus. I mean, anything really that you can think of, and you can look up and learn more about that particular herb. And so this spring, I will be taking some more in-person medicine making classes with herbs, bioregional herbs, which I'm very excited about. And so for this winter, I have been reading up in this book and learning as much as I can so that I will have more information when I go out into the field this spring. And of course for winter, I focus a lot on using culinary herbs, and so this has been really helpful for that as well. I really love herbalism, and that's something I'm getting into, and I want to share more about that with you, so stay tuned for that. Okay, I think I went through all of my favorites. I tried to keep it to a, somewhat limited amount of things, and I haven't been paying attention to the time, so I don't know how long this ended up running, but I just always love hanging out with you like this, and it makes me happy to share things with you that I enjoy. I hope that you are staying cozy this season. And let me know, if there's anything that has been a favorite for you this winter that has helped you stay warm and relaxed and cozy and entertained during this cold and dark season. Let me know, because I always like to hear about those things. I always love hearing from you, hearing your ideas and your thoughts on things. So, thank you again for being here with me. Take good care of yourself. Stay very, 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 very cozy. And it's fun to think that the next time I do a favorites video like this, I will be doing spring favorites. And who knows what that might include. And that reminds me, the final thing I wanted to say was, I think the way I have things set up now, I've been doing some rearranging, which is very exciting. More to come on that. But you can now see behind me here my begonia. The begonia's like, hi, I want to be in the ASMR video. Because another one of my winter favorites is houseplants. And this is a begonia that I bought last summer from a greenhouse and kept outside all summer, and now brought it in as a houseplant. And this little flower apparently wanted to break itself off and be part of this ASMR video. And so this is why we love ASMR, because it is so spontaneous. So here's a beautiful begonia bloom for you. A beautiful, beautiful begonia bloom. Begonias do make lovely houseplants, and during the winter months, my houseplants definitely keep me going. I really miss, getting to be outside, and so, I still go outside and tromp around in the snow, but I miss the plants. So houseplants are really nice. And so I will go downstairs and stick this in one of my tiny vases and enjoy this beautiful bloom, since it obviously wanted to gift itself to us today for this video. So this is especially for you. This beautiful, beautiful Okay, well that's a beautiful way, I think, to end our winter favorites video, which is with a little